have to live with this. They have to go through the rest of their life with this burden on them. And like they just well, first of all, hey, welcome to our first video. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But second of all, just for a little background, this was technically a project for our AP Lang class, but me and Hoyt had such a great time filming this, we think we're gonna do a little more of these. So if for some reason you're watching this and you're not my AP Lang teacher, stick around. We'll post some other content, something to do with video games. Should be our next post, something along those lines. I'm rambling, but this was a project for AP Lang, and now it's not. Also, chill on my trash mic quality. It's bad, I know. I'm getting a new one soon. Okay, bye. Hear ye.
Hear ye.
Welcome in to the only channel where you can hear two opinions at the exact same time. I'm Riley.
And I'm Hoyt.
And we're going to be talking...
Oh, you...
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead. No,
Okay.
No,
I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
All right, go ahead, you got it.
No, why don't you go ahead?
No. Bro, stop. Hold on.
Okay. So today we are going to be discussing Nightlife, which is a short story from a book called The Things They Carried.
Yeah, Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried.
Yeah, Tim O'Brien.
Very, very well done book.
It's probably my favorite thing that we've read.
Written.
Yeah, it's probably like my favorite thing that we've read all year.
It's, I mean, I don't want to glaze it, but
honestly, I'm gonna see if I can get like maybe a copy or something to like read over the summer.
Yeah, like read all the stories in it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nightlife specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a short, very short, about 3 pages long, 3.5 pages, story about Rat Kiley and how his sort of arc in the story ends. But it's very hard to talk about Rat Kiley without talking about how to tell a true war story, because that's sort of where his full arc begins, so to speak.
There's like a lot of like discussion about him and his storytelling specifically. Like the way he tells his stories in that little short story, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Again, Tim O'Brien does a fantastic job at really pulling you in.
Mm-hmm.
But Rat Kiley as a character, so he is a part of the same platoon that did that really big massacre that I can't seem to remember the name of.
Yeah,
but he was a part of that same platoon, along with the main character of the story and all of that. But he was the like medic of the group. And he was the he was the kind of the anchor until the very end, until he started. Well, you know, and I won't get into that yet. Do you have something to add in?
Yeah, he was just kind of like I feel like you said, he was an anchor. He was kind of a really good, much needed, like lightheartedness for the whole platoon. Like he seemed like he would joke around and play around a lot, and you know, he was the medic, so he was always there to like help injured soldiers and everything.
Right.
Yeah, I find his character really interesting. And also, you know, he was like, it's mentioned a lot how he's like constantly kind of telling stories. Overall, I think he's a very important character to the book. If I had to say that there are like if there were to be like kind of really main characters of the book, I'd say he would be one of them, and he's honestly probably my favorite. Um,
Yeah, he's also my favorite, at
yeah.
least for the ones that we've read thus far.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, guess like we kind of answered what his purpose in the platoon was, but what's his purpose in the story?
Hmm.
A little harder to
Um.
answer.
Yeah. Purpose in the story. He he kind of I'm blanking here. I'm not gonna lie.
To me, his purpose in the story is to show that regardless of how strong you are or what role you serve in the forest, like it's going to claim you. You're going to be a byproduct of the war. I think because it was in How to Tell a True War Story, it was showing him to be like if he was a kid, he was just on the he was in this war, but he was like treating it like it was just a
Yeah, he was like 19.
like a fun excursion with Kurt Lemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Like
is kind of
that it
the tipping point, wasn't it? Uh whenever Kurt Lemon like steps on the landmine while they're like messing around,
yeah,
it
I
really
think that's when definitively he shifted. He became
that's
cold. He wasn't very open to like anyone, all that. He was just like a shell of who he was before.
that
And it's
is
so
like
well written in the text. Like you can really feel it.
yeah, that's like like you said, that's like the point where he became the like byproduct of the war, as you said
Right.
earlier.
I think especially for um Rat Kiley, I think especially it's very symbolic for his arc to end like this because his whole view changes because he's the medic of the platoon. So obviously, he's trying to save lives. He's everything is precious to him. He doesn't want any soldier to die. He doesn't think like anyone should die in this war.
Mm-hmm.
But he like devolves after Kurt Lemon's death. He devolves into this like we're all meat for the bugs mentality. I think that like whenever he was talking about how we're all meat for the bugs or how everyone in the forest that's fighting in the war is fighting a losing battle. It wasn't like no matter what side you were on, he was saying that it was, all just so they could be reclaimed by the forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um,
I think that's very, very, very important to his arc.
yeah, I actually that kind of involves one of the things that I talked about for the personal items that they carry. Um, so we have a few items like chosen for specific characters, specifically for people uh, named in Nightlife, um, the short story Nightlife.
Mhm.
So Nightlife, kind of, it doesn't have a lot of physical things like how the other stories do. It doesn't have like all that much commentary on the physical items that they have. Um, I mean, it does a little bit, but I think it more so it talks a lot about like the effect that the nightlife, like the effect that the night patrols have on all of them. Um,
Yeah,
so whenever it comes to each selected two items. Whenever it comes to the items that I selected, I kind of went a little bit more abstract with them. Let me go ahead and pull those up right
Yeah,
now.
you went way more abstract than I did with mine.
Oh yeah. And then after we talk about the items that they had in the story, we actually also have two personal items that we carry, um, that we have chosen to talk about as well, and then like the memories related with those. So, um, so I'll start first. My first object that I chose, like I said, it's abstract. The sensory deprivation that they like experience during the night patrols. It was super
Yes.
dark. They had to be completely quiet because they couldn't risk alerting anybody. Um,
I think it was like sort of a litmus test and like shown in the story text wise. It was like shown as this test of like who would crack first, pretty much. That's what it seemed like in a lot of the text that we
yeah,
read, especially whenever it was Rat Kylie's turn to go to
hmm
the nightlife and be shipped out.
yeah. I think it's kind of a little like bittersweet and a little symbolic that at the end of the story they try and comfort him by talking about how great the nightlife in Japan is. I think there's a line about that, and
Yeah, there
it's
is.
like the very last thing said in that story. Um, I think it's ironic, and I think it's a really good way to end off such a heavy short story like that. I mean, they're all heavy, but this one especially so.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So yeah, object number one, the sensory deprivation. Um, they all like, I feel like all the soldiers are in such a vulnerable state at this time. Like the need to be able to connect with each other and connect to like the fellow members of their platoon, just to have that like human connection is so crucial for them and for their survival at this point. Um,
Mhm.
and the nightlife is such the reason it's such a huge obstacle for some of them, and especially for at Kylie, is because it does the opposite. I mean, it's dark. They can't say anything. They have to be as quiet as they can. It's
Yeah, that's like the
yeah.
opposite of Rat Kylie's character of how it's like portrayed in the like first story. Like the way that his arc develops, it shows that he has to like realize that this is serious. This is war. There are consequences.
hmm And like especially it's he just like with the need for human connection, he just lost like his best friend and now he has to go on these patrols.
Right.
So it's just another thing. It's another thing and another thing, and it's the pressure builds up on him.
I think
Um,
that need for like consequences, or not need for consequences, but like realizing that there is consequences to certain actions really ties in with the thing I wrote about him. I think that although it's not mentioned much, it's really important to see like his medical kit or like what he carried on him, like the things that he used to be a medic. I think it's very important to see those things as a stepping stone into what his story became.
mhm.
Because I mean, like it's a he became a shell of who he was, became like a just like he couldn't be a medic under the conditions that he was working under.
Yeah,
He
no.
was
Um,
just completely out of it, completely removed
it was like
from.
a really dehumanizing experience from what it sounds like. He was getting super like desensitized to just all the gore and like the like he started seeing his own body as like medical um like images. Like he was almost seeing through himself, like seeing all of his anatomy.
Yeah, like when I was talking about how he sees his heart, he sees his liver, he sees his lungs, and they're pulled out and they're
Yeah.
strung along the forest.
And he's like tending to an injured soldier, and like all he can think about is like he's just wondering like how heavy would this guy's head be, you know?
Right. I mean, that's a very stark difference than the Rat Kylie we see at the beginning of the story.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's crazy to see how his arc sort of just changed him completely. And I mean, that's what war does to people.
Mm-hmm.
It turned them into people that they don't recognize.
And like I can't imagine um the kind of like trauma that might come from all that, like with the nightlife especially. um like I mentioned something about in my notes here. I mentioned something about like possibly just going like doing something as simple as going into like a dark room might trigger it. It might bring back those memories of the night patrols.
Right.
um and it just deeply like scars and affects every soldier who has to experience this kind of thing. They all become, you know, byproducts of the war.
I agree with that.
um
I mean, it's especially clear, like, even in the rest of the stories, but with Rat Kylie, I mean, we've been talking about it this whole time. It's so clear how much this affected him,
mm-hmm.
how much this changed him formatively. It drove him to shoot himself in the foot so he could get out of it because he just needed to be away from it.
Yeah. um so let's see. Oh yeah. So each soldier in the story, on the night platoons, each of the soldiers had their own specific ways of coping with the darkness. And I feel like each like way that they tried to cope with it uh defines them each in its own way. They're very like it's very unique to each soldier. Uh so
Yeah,
like
the things they carry.
the things he carried, yeah, yeah. Um but I have here like just kind of a list of what they each had. Like Jimmy Cross, he had what was called nodos. I'm assuming it's just some kind of like some kind of like medication or something to keep him like awake um
Mhm.
on those like night patrols. Dave Jensen had high carotene vitamins to help him, you know, see better. Maybe. I don't even, who knows if it worked or not. um Henry
That was very
Dobbins.
common,
Huh?
like back then. That was a very common thing back then.
Yeah. And then Henry Dobbins and Norman Bowker, they tethered themselves together to not lose each
Mhm.
other. And there's that once again brings me back to the like the need for human connection. And there's a line um when they're when he's like when Tim O'Brien is first talking about the nightlife, and he says sometimes you'd be reaching out just hoping and like praying to be able to like grasp the guy's shirt in front of you, just hoping that he was there and that they didn't
Yeah.
lose you. So they are terrified of getting lost and just swallowed up by this darkness. And they have to do this every night.
I think like that is because you can like understand to a degree the concepts of war and why war happens and how war affects somebody.
Hmm.
But unless you're actually like in a war, you won't ever know
Yeah, you
how
don't
that.
you won't ever get it. Like you really won't unless you experience it.
That's I mean, it's like you've said, it's dehumanizing. You have no control, no autonomy. You have to keep advancing. And you have to do the night patrols, or it's you or them. And that's human nature. It's you or it's them.
Hmm.
Either you survive and you let all of your people that you associate with survive, or you don't do the uncomfortable thing and you get everyone killed.
Yeah.
And that's
Um.
not a fair choice. That's not a choice they should have to make, but that's a choice that is made.
Yeah. Um. I also would like to mention that whenever uh whenever O'Brien is listing off like the things that each of the soldiers had to cope with the nightlife, the night patrols, Rat Kiley, I don't think Rat Kiley wasn't included in that list. Like he wasn't mentioned as of like doing anything to help him like deal with them. There's a
Right.
lot of they talked a lot about you know like the things that he was seeing and the things that the nightlife was doing to him, but he was never included in that list. And um I think that's because he didn't really do anything to try and help himself cope with it. He wasn't I don't think he was really able to. Um
Yeah.
and actually I think there was a way that he ended up quote unquote, coping with it. And it was at the end of the story was whenever he shot himself. It was
I think that
almost
was like him taking his power back.
yeah, it was like I feel like it also doubled as a sort of consequence to the fact that he didn't have any outlet or any way of dealing with the sensory
Hmm.
deprivation and the darkness and all that.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. Cuz I
Smart
mean
fella.
what are you going to do? Day in and
Right.
day out. He can't get sleep. Oh, that's the other thing. He can't like sleep during the day either. They're supposed to,
Because you have to keep advancing.
but yeah, no, they would dig their foxholes and try to get what sleep they could. But Rat Kiley, it was mentioned explicitly, he wasn't able to sleep during the day. So he's running on like no sleep, having to do this every single night.
Just horrible.
Yeah.
I think what's the most compelling thing about Tim O'Brien's writing is like he experienced this. He went through this. He wasn't like Rat Kiley. He was like his own person, but he saw all this happen, and he just had to suck it up like the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep on going. And he had the privilege of like being able to survive. That doesn't sound like a privilege, but comparatively to like another character like Kurt Lemon, he just stepped on the landmine. That was it.
There wasn't anything he
That was
could
the end
do.
of his story. He
It
had a mother, a father.
almost wasn't fair.
It's not fair.
But yeah, none of it is
But
fair.
yeah, war isn't fair.
What was the first uh object that you chose?
For like the personal section or what?
Oh, no, the just the objects that they carried in the story because I we kind of just went over the sensory deprivation, which is what I talked about.
I mentioned mine. The med kit was my first
Oh, the
one, and
med kit.
then
Right, okay.
the
So,
burden of. Well, I guess we can talk about this.
the talk about what?
Uh, how Kurt Lemon's death was sort of a thing that he had to carry with him.
Oh yeah. You know.
I mentioned it previously, but I mean, him and Kurt Lemon in the story were like best friends.
Yeah.
There's a line from it somewhere that states something along the lines of like when they were together, it didn't seem like they were in a war fighting for their lives. They were just two kids. They were just having fun, treating it like it
Yeah.
was like a playground or some. They compared it to something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't anybody's fault that he stepped on the landmine, right?
Yeah. It
But he did.
was. It just kind of happened.
It just happened, and Rat Kiley now has to keep that with him, not even just in the war, but for the rest of his life. He's gonna have that guilt,
Mm-hmm.
that burden of being the person to survive.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that is like a extremely powerful thing to read, especially
Mm-hmm.
because in a way, whether platonic or otherwise, Rat Kiley loved Kurt Lennon, like real love.
Yeah.
They were like best friends on the battlefield, and he just has to see him. He has to see him die. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah. I really liked the way that Tim O'Brien kind of described the gore almost, because it almost seemed poetic, especially now there's a story later on about I can't remember what the name of it was, but it's the one where he's constantly repeating, like staring at this guy that he killed, and
The
he like,
star-shaped hole.
yeah, the star-shaped hole. Yeah, he keeps going back to that. He keeps repeating that line, and he keeps repeating um like the way he looked. Um it was almost like every single time he repeated it, he was going back and looking at more, noticing more details. It's really, like I said, it's really poetic. Um, which I think really, juxtaposes the way that it actually is, the way that like seeing that stuff actually is. When you're looking at it,
Yeah,
I don't think, like, when you're actually there looking at it, I don't think you would be thinking this is poetic. It's
you would be
yeah,
seeing a dead person.
you'd be seeing a dead person. You'd be seeing gore. It wouldn't be that way at all.
Just got such a great way of writing.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. I almost cried in class, bro. That's how serious it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there were a few times, like, or just after every single time after we finished reading, I just sat there for a bit,
Yeah.
because that's all I could
Whenever
really,
we had to
just
like
sat there.
whenever it would go into the bell, I would just sit there and I'd be like, I don't want to leave this room yet. I don't want to not think about this yet.
Hmm. It took me like a few minutes.
Well, that's what a good writer can do.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about the personal items now.
Right. Yes. Um. Yeah. So for my first personal object, um, this is something that's like extremely, I would say it's extremely important to me. Um, but my necklace, there's a necklace that I always wear. It is a Celtic knot heart necklace. It's like it's really cool. It's
Yes, yes, yes. I know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Um, It was a Valentine's Day gift that my girlfriend had gotten custom made for me.
Oh,
Um, and here, hold on. There's a note that came with it that she wrote personally. I think I can just go ahead and read from that directly. That would be the best way to hear it, in my opinion. Um, but what it symbolizes, it represents eternal spiritual union and interconnectedness. She said it encapsulates us very well. And she told me to not see it as just an object, but a promise. A promise that we'll always be together. It's an
that is so.
extremely powerful thing that I,
Yeah, I'm sure getting that from like your significant others
yeah.
just adds a different layer of feeling onto it.
hmm So
That's awesome.
yeah, I wear it every day. If I'm going out, I make sure I have it on. Um, and to me, the memory that is like held to that is just, especially since our relationship is long distance, it can be, sometimes it's really hard not being able to be there for um for that like significant other, for that person that you care so deeply about. So
Hmm.
it's really nice to be able to spend moments like that opening gifts that we got each other over like video call or whatever,
Right.
because some of those moments are the closest that I have ever felt to her, both physically and otherwise.
Mm.
um oh, and there's something else I wanted to mention. um it it also kind of serves as a reminder to me, um that I have probably one of the greatest privileges in the world. That being that I am able to like just put my absolute trust in somebody, and I can take like the most fragile and sensitive parts of myself, and I can just trust her with those parts of me,
Right.
with the things that I, hold closest to my own heart. I'm able to hold them close to her heart as well. So, um,
Well, that's way better than mine.
yeah, that's my first personal item.
That's way better than mine.
Now, don't discredit yours. I bet yours is good.
Um.
Okay, what's your first
So
item?
the item is more just representative of a larger thing,
Mm-hmm.
less so than what your case is, but
Mine was
still in a way.
really personal.
Yeah, mine's much less. It's the first item is wired earbuds. It's the ones that I carry around, the ones that I use every day. They're little, just janky little pair of earbuds that I listen to all my music on. But it's not really the headphones that I'm talking about here. It's the music. Okay.
Yeah.
Music is a extremely important part of my life. For a very long time, I was convinced that I was going to be a music educator and I was going to teach music, and that was just going to be my job like, forever and ever until I, saw the education market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Regardless, I think that music is everyone's own personal like escape,
Yeah.
everyone's personal shield in some sort of way. Like if I'm sad, I go to music. If I'm angry, I go to music. If I'm happy, I'll go to music. It's different than any other medium in that way to me. I'm sure you can get lost in like art and in drawing, and in some ways I have, but it's never been the same effect that listening to music or hearing music or making music. It's never in that same level to me.
Yeah. I
Like
I really agree
it's
with that. Yeah.
yeah, it's so important. I'm in a bit of a predicament here.
I was in a predicament earlier, but that time is well, I mean, I think you know.
Yeah.
Um, so my second personal object, uh, I put down my keyring, which holds lots of it's more specifically the accessories on my keyring,
Mhm.
and all of the things that those represent. Um, so okay, first of all, they represent my home and like my kind of my the like support that I have from my parents and from my family. Specifically, the thing on my keyring that represents that is the house key that they gave me to so
Oh,
I'm able to get in the house. Um, and I think it's really nice how something so like something as simple as a spare house key can mean that much to somebody.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's I'm provided with a home. I'm provided with a place that I can be welcome in no matter what, and I can always be safe in. It's a really nice security to have. Um, so it's pretty important to me. Um, there's my friends are represented by this little. There's a gift that I was given by a friend of both of ours. He's graduating this year. I'm sad to see him go, but um,
Yeah.
it was a little like what is it? The little thing that plugs into the aux on an amp. I think. Wait. Yeah. Um, and he has one too. He has one too. So we kind of are matching with that. To me, it represents my like connections and my friends. You know who I choose to call my friends. How I can rely on them. It's and I can just count on them to be there for me as well. Um, it's nice. My because it reminds me of my like my relationships with everybody, and it really does kind of bring me back to a lot of good memories, especially this year, going through band and all that. Marching band has been a big thing, for like my entire time throughout high school. Um, and then last, I would say I have this little Espion keychain. If you flip it over, it's got like the normal Espeon, the like purple one. If you flip it over, it has the uh the shiny like version, the green one. That one
Yes.
to me represents some of my personal interests. I like playing video games. I've played Pokemon and been fascinated by Pokemon since a very young age. God, I used to
Signed off in fourth grade. I remember. I remember those days. We had the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Pokedex or Poke Wikipedia, whatever it
I
was.
had one of those huge books and it had like a bunch of Pokemon stickers at the end of it. Yeah, it was I loved that thing. Um but yeah. So to me it just kind of represents my personal interests, what I like to spend my time doing. Um it can be kind of it's like I would even go as far as to say that it is almost part of what kind of defines who I am. Um
I agree.
So yeah, that one's also very important to me. But also I got it from Pensacon. So once again, not only does it not only does it serve as a like just kind of a reminder of like who I am and the things that I like the things that I do, what I spend my time doing. But it also once again has a memory of like friendship and
Mhm.
connection to those people who are important to me. Because whenever I went and got it, I went to Pensacon with just a couple friends. I remember seeing the keychain and like I didn't even put a second thought into it. I bought it immediately. Best like $8 ever spent, pretty much. But yeah, those are my two items: my keyring
Very,
and my necklace.
very, very well said. I think it's very admirable you hold your friends in such high importance. Not saying that I don't, but I'm just saying a lot of people, especially like in the modern day, just I don't know, they treat it as treat their friends as so flippant.
I
Just
feel
sort
that
of a
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, these are my friends. I don't really care about them.
I always like I feel that way too because like I always hear about whatever drama is going on. Um, like all of a sudden, um, these two people that had like some sort of major beef the other day are like they're hanging out and they're like talking and laughing, and it's not to me that I'm not saying like people aren't able to like
Make up.
forgive each other and make up, yeah, but it's almost like they didn't do that to begin with. They still are, not on good terms, but they're like it almost doesn't matter to them.
They're too scared to hold each other accountable. Is the way I would put it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the way I would put it too. So it's really interesting to me, and I almost feel disconnected from the way that people view friendships and relationships now. Especially relationships. I hear so much about all the like messy like relationships that people get into.
Yeah,
Um, and the way that they just like seemingly effortlessly just rebound off of that, like it never even mattered to them to begin with. Um, gosh, I was talking to my sister the other day, and this one girl that she knows, uh, she said that she does whatever she can to intentionally try and make her ex's life a quote unquote living hell. Um, and I find that so interesting, like how somebody can be not interesting, but it's almost shocking how bitter people can be for
right.
like seemingly no reason
It's crazy, and it's really crazy to see. And
in such young people too.
like, and such young people. Why are you bitter? What made you this way? Is it the internet? Is it really the
It's
internet?
probably the internet.
I guess, bro. Okay, we're off topic. I gotta
Right, yeah.
say my last thing. I
So
feel like I'm like an infant compared to you because my,
no,
my next one is
no.
also very self-absorbed.
Well,
Maybe I'm the teenager you're talking about here.
no. Your first item was good. Music is really important in my life as well, and I totally could have talked about that. But what is your last item?
My last item. I'm so glad you asked. My last item is clothes.
Ooh, that's another good one. My clothes are very
I
important to me
am
too.
very, 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 very into fashion and into like that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I take great pride in the way I dress and the way I appear. Like the way I present myself outwardly, I think is very cool and it's very me as well. That's probably why I think it's so cool. And that's probably why I'm able to feel so confident in the clothes that I wear. Is because the clothes that I wear, they're like my clothes. I wear them because they fit me the way I want them to. They look the way I want them to. And if they don't, I alter them.
The things that you wear.
And I think that clothes are probably the best way. Like if you're in a room, just completely alone in a room, and some person walks in and they see how you're dressed, that is the perfect way for them to see like your personality, your values, your experiences before you speak to them at all. And I think that is that like something the fact that you can have something like that is like a silent language. You don't need to say any words to express how you feel in that regard. That is so cool to me. That's why I love clothes so much. Clothes they can act as like family heirlooms. Like one of our friends, he wears both of his parents on his wrist. Like he has his dad's watch on one arm and he has an armband on another from his mom that his mom
Yeah.
wore in high school. Like
Yeah.
that's so cool. Like that's like connecting him back to his origin.
Yeah, my
Like it or can connect them to something outside of that.
Mhm.
Like a band they like. So you know that they listen to that sort of music, or you know that they like that style. Holy voice crack.
Yeah,
They like that style. They like that theming. They like that before they say anything.
or maybe they're just LARPing.
Or they could be LARPing.
But yeah,
But then that's another thing. You
then
can usually tell
that's
when somebody's LARPing because they're not comfortable in the clothes that they're wearing.
or that will maybe goad somebody into like approaching you, talking to you. It's
Exactly.
clothes can be a gateway to connections and friendships and just conversation. So yeah, I think clothes are really important. Especially seeing as like seeing how they evolve over time. I mean, clothes have nearly always been extremely important between like from, you know, whether it's like saying your status or um you know, just to cover yourself. It's
Right.
yeah, I agree with. I think that's a really good one to put down. Because you know, fashion is pretty. I feel like it's pretty important to me too, and like you said, it's a good way to kind of like they can be family heirlooms. They can represent a lot of things. Um, I was gonna mention like my girlfriend. She has a literal family heirloom that is a bracelet that she wears. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool, all the stories that you can tell by just deciding what you're gonna wear in the morning.
Very, very well spoken.
Thank you. Yeah, those were good. Those were good objects.
Hey, if you say so, man.
They are. So,
I mean, I have some closing remarks.
go
I
for it.
wrote some down. Tim O'Brien reminds us that we all carry things. Some are forced upon us, and some we choose to pick. By carrying these items with us, we choose to carry our own voice and the voices of those who inspire us. Objects, while they might be light in your pocket, are heavy with significance of who you are and who you are becoming. They can become the tools to navigate the jungle of everyone's own life.
Very well said.
End quote.
Yeah.
I think that's what Tim O'Brien was sort of hoping people would take away from that text. That not specifically about earbuds and clothes, but
Yeah.
the significance of burdens, specifically in like the military. Like, are these people, if they make it home, have to live with this? They have to go through the rest of their life with this burden on them. And like they just that's just something that they have to deal with. It's sad. It's sad to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not exactly a controversial opinion to say war bad, but
Oh well, yeah, no, but like you said it in a way that was very like profound. I think that was you said
W
it well.
Glaze.
But yeah.
I guess that's it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Bro, this was actually so fun to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
Goodness.
I got mauled.
Bro,
What?
how? Whatever.
No, 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 no.
Like, subscribe, do all the YouTuber things. We have to say those.
No, there's such a funny clip. I there's a really okay. Anyways, yeah, yeah.
You should have
I
clicked that. Oh,
no, I had my hands like covering my mouth, and you're like you're talking about some really like you're going over some really good points, and you're having some really good dialogue, and I'm over here fighting like I'm over here fighting Shy Guy like legitimately, like the SCP. I
wait, what?
I'm so serious. You need to see this clip. Are we gonna keep? Are we gonna like just record the rest of this or?
Um, well, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, the YouTuber shit
Oh yeah, okay.
stuff.
You can go for that. You can go for that.
Okay. Um, like, if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more from us, because
Subscribe if
I
you
think we
subscribed
both
it.
can agree. I
Okay.
think we can both agree that we want to make more of this content.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This has been a absolute joy to make,
Yeah,
and
I can say confident like with confidence you can expect more in the future, especially with us going on summer break. A
oh yeah. All right, that's it.
yeah.
Good
Um
night.
yeah. Good night, good morning, whatever. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Baba booey.
And so you've entered